Hello, it's Anya. Welcome to the KvK channel. We've finished the summary, so we'll quickly review the rankings, collect our rewards, and raffle off artifacts. We'll start with the Alliance rankings. Let's move on to the rankings. As for power, well, obviously, we fought until the end, we were getting zeroed, so that power is much lower than our highest historical power. So, I won't tell you what power we would have finished with in KvK. As for merits, I see Arab overtook me in 13th place. Well, we'll have to hunt a bit more to maintain the number 1 position in VP, but we'll talk about VP later. Let's get to what interests us here, Alliance power. It currently looks like this. A few people are still migrating from us, so we'll have about 13 with a chunk of that power, something like that for the next KvK, so super cool changes, I think. And the rest of the alliances look like this, so I see a bit of power loss on Puto's side. The rest of the alliances seem to be similar to how they started. However, in terms of merit, this is how it looks at the moment. So, if we look at our power and our merit, we have over 10%, so our goal here is definitely achieved. Now, let's quickly move on to the VP22 rankings. Let's take a look at the top. Of course, we're talking about merit, the top 10 players in VP throughout the entire season. In terms of merit, number 1, Arabe, 2nd Angel, 3rd Witch, 4th James Rain, 5 Sugar, 6 Tony, 7 Blind, 8 Francie Luca, 9 Gabriel, and 10 Sharp. In terms of infantry merit, Red is 1st, Baki 2nd, Tony 3rd, Kermit 4th, Dexus 5th, Squidward 6th, Gabriel 7th, Mordragon 8th, Roy 9th, and 10KZ. I earned a modest 5 million on infantry. Now let's move on to the cavalry. Here I managed to finish in 1st place. Damon Nat number, Waller 3rd, TS Agiata 4th. Khan migrated now, so we won't include him here. Queen 6th, by 7th, Franchila 8th, Pazlang 2, Draco 10th, and a real 10th Lobo Viecho. As for archers, I'm also number 1 here. AN number 2, RTM number 3, Mars 4th, Blind 5th, Magistralis 6th, DSTI 7th. Leviathan 8th, Maujucha 9th, and EA 10th. As for the mages, Arabe 1st, Candy 2nd, James Rain 3rd, Witch 4th, Aggie 5th, Asu 6th, Melise 7th. Sishu 8th, Adrianescu 9th, and Artis 10th. Well, this is very modest of me. By chance, they killed my mages on the battlefield, and that's where I got those merits. Let's look at other merits. Other merits are from burning or swarming. It's about the attack on our city. Here, Sharingan 8 million merits. 2nd Kermit 3 million, Saku 2 million, Bobo Mamba 2 million. Kiro migrated, so he doesn't count. I like pancakes. She was probably burned at the end of the KvK. Pussy Berzik took something. Local WHP took something. Lejeune took something. Mitz and Tejrashka, of course, had to take something. There's no KvK that doesn't take anything. Of course, everything was monitored. For me, it was monitored too. I was online. I just knew they'd swarm me. So, I took a little here to see how my garrison was doing, specifically on the Swarmic. Let's move on to the fun part of the video, the rewards. Let's start with, and you know where we start? We'll start with the keys. I think I should have it. We have 15 keys, so let's do some divination. This time we don't have a legend here, so we've broken the streak, but that only means we have more luck left for the next openings. We'll fly here one by one. We're not opening the forge. We don't have anything in the shop here. Let's move on to those crystals. So what are we going to take here? We'll take the standard option, of course. Let's go to the advanced tab. Let's take percentage healing. We have 3,000, so we can take that. And of course, we're taking 3 pets per day. I think it's worth it, and more merits on Abysk, as there will be home kingdom. So the only fights we'll have will be Abysks. Before we do the opening, maybe we'll take the rest of the rewards from Warband. Let's take those behemoths we have. We also got a few ambers that will definitely be useful. We have nothing here because we gave up the Hydra to our allies. So let's take that. Oh, let's spin the wheel again. Who would I like to get here? Honestly, I could get Ken, I could get Ruby, I could get Kuma. And I'd hunt with those 3. I don't want the rest, because I've already done the rest or I'm not doing them at all, so we're counting on those 3. So we're spinning the wheel. Let's see what we get here. We have a Kumiak, so I can definitely get a Kumiak. I'll need the document tokens. Let's get the emblem. It'll be useful for us too. Everything's been taken away here. Masteries, skills. Those were my skills. I changed them for the rally here, because we were burning a few cities at the end, so I used my cavalry. That's a rally skill. However, towards the end, I didn't do those tasks anymore. As you can see, I didn't collect those points, so my mastery skills look really poor. As you can see, I got something I wanted, so I didn't roll again. And that's usually how it goes. I didn't open too many points here, because when I found something I liked, I didn't lose those points anymore. As for fellowship, of course, we were already level 9. I didn't rent out my legions. Gabriel, for example, rented them out, and Roas lent us legions. So it was like that in fellowship. Of course, you stay on the KvK map until the end so you don't waste teleports. However, if you teleported to the home kingdom map, you'd have 3 extra pet warrants, so you could catch 3 more pets, but I don't need them. I prefer teleports though. I think teleports will be more useful to me than 3 potential talents. Let's exchange some more tokens and we'll move on to the draw. What do I want to exchange here? I think I could only exchange Skogul. Let's take a look at Skogul. Possibly Bachorn as well. Let's see if I've even started working on Skogul, but I don't think so. I think he's still 5. Here he's 10, interestingly enough. And that was probably the 10 from the conversations, but we definitely won't be giving more tokens to Skogul, as it's not worth the candle. And then there was Bachorn. We won't be giving anything to Bachorn here either. He could be useful for flying cavalry, even if I built him for 5,111. You know what? Maybe we'll keep Bachorn. Maybe someday we'll tweak him a bit for eagles to make him more useful. Well, we'll keep Bachorn, so we'll only replace Skogul. We've been replacing a lot of heroes lately, and now we don't have anything to replace, so we're only left with Skogul, and the rest of the heroes remain. Can we replace anything? We have 3 tokens, so let's do that. 1, 2, and 3 points were enough for 3 tokens. And let's move on to the most important thing, artifacts. The weakest compendium, but we couldn't have a better one on this KvK. Regardless, I think we put in a good performance. Besides, I think the power to merit results speak for themselves. Speaking of artifacts, what artifacts could I want here? I'll definitely be making G5 archers. However, they've improved a bit, so they're actually playable. Let's take this for now. Let's take archers. Let's take Lunaris, of course. Maybe Torquefest. We still have 2 artifacts. Except I don't really want those artifacts anymore. Let's take spears. Yes, I still think we'll get a hero that breaks defenses someday. And that spear will still be useful. That's how I explain it all. And the last artifact I'd like to have. The question is, we'll take what we can take. I guess the only other option is Gold Christ. So, ultimately, this is what my artifacts will look like, from which we'll draw here. We already have 20 keys. Of course, I bought it. Where is it? Here are the Zambergs. I bought this chest for 3 ambers. I don't mind spending gems on TOS if I can use ambers. As you can see, I still have plenty of ambers, so we can afford it. So, let's move on to this draw. As usual, if we get 2 legendary items before the 11th or 12th draw, we'll move on. If we miss, we'll figure out what to do next. So, let's move on to draw number 1. Of course, we start with purple artifacts. Second draw, purple artifact. Third draw, purple artifact. Purple, purple, purple. I'd like to get a gold artifact on the 7th draw. Then there'd still be a chance for 3 artifacts. You know, you can never have too many legendary artifacts. And here we are, on the 8th. Now the question is, what did we get here? What would I want most from these artifacts? Honestly, any of these 5 artifacts would be fine. I don't really want a gold crystal, but I had to give something up for 6th place, so let's see what we have here. King Slayer, well, I think we already have King Slayer at level 5, but we'll see. We'll check that later. The game also didn't give us much of an artifact here. I could get the 2nd artifact for free, so to speak, for cavalry, because I don't have it at level 5 yet. Oh, that's a bummer. So I see, this opening probably won't be 3 legendaries, right? Or maybe there will be. No, I doubt there will be 3 legendaries. Well, now there's a guaranteed legend. This drawing will be the guarantee, so we should probably have one of those 6 artifacts here. And fingers crossed it's not a gold crystal, right? We'll definitely take Winter Sec. We have 2 more drawings. Honestly, there's a very slim chance we'll get a legendary, but generally, I could save these keys for the future, but you know, I don't lack these tokens, and there's always a chance for an artifact, so we'll keep spinning. I don't think it's worth spinning any further. And the last key. A rather slim chance we'll get a legendary, but it's worth checking. No surprise. I'm certainly not surprised there weren't 3 legendary. As for artifacts, Kinsler did come in handy. We're at level 5 now, so I'm happy with everything. Finally, we have another level 5 artifact for cavalry. Sure, it's not a premium artifact, but it still deals some damage. And Winter Sec will definitely be useful. Especially since the pair of G5 cavalry are really finished on my side. Agnar is awakened. Freya is 5,551, so for me, this march is over, and I actually burned a few cities thanks to this pair, so I'm not complaining about them. Is there anything else here? A few gems, sure, they'll be useful, and I guess that's all there is to it. Oh, we have a few. Wow. Hey, I didn't expect that. It was somewhere in those. It had to be what? It had to be in those achievements, right? What did we get it for? And here, for achievements, a very nice, very pleasant surprise. Honestly, I didn't look at it, but since we have it, well, let's move on to the decorations. And let's improve it. Yes, of course, everything will go to the lighthouse, so as not to spoil it here. Everything will go to the lighthouse. Poof. And we have the next level, level 5 already. This is already level 5 of our decorations. Very nice. Yes, we're not far from the next level. Well, it'll take a while, but you know, closer than further. It's a shame that we got damage delta at the end of KvK, but you know, on a free-to-play account, there's no point in thinking we'll have who knows what decorations here. Despite everything, I think the buffs we have are really good. I think I'm currently number 1 when it comes to decorations on free-to-play accounts, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, that was a very pleasant surprise to end this video. I'll say goodbye to you all here. You know what to do. Take care. Hello.